The war came to the locals of the city, and evacuation was slowed to the speed of the Wehrmacht's advancement. Because the city bore Stalin's name, it was high importance for the morale of the Soviet forces to hold it. The desperation for Soviet resistance to the German advance war was clear. Work frantically continued in the weapon factories. T-34 tanks could be seen rushed into battle unpainted and sometimes lacking gun sights. Men already in the Red Army were formed into militia and sent into battle, sometimes without proper training and high casualties, women and children of trenches and build protective fortifications, but would also fight as machine gunners in gun crews and as scouts and snipers. On the 12th of September, the first German troops moved into the city. They chose to attack straight into the urban area and soon found themselves in a whole-built close quarters, house-to-house battles. The Soviets established frontline positions as close as possible to the German lines, which was the safest place for the German air and artillery attacks. In August, Stalin had sent his top general, the Gazuk, off to supervise the whole southern front, and Vasily Chuikov took over the 62nd Army in the city. While Zhukov prepared for counter-offensive, Chuikov pushed his troops into combat. When asked how he interpreted his task, he responded, "We will defend the city or die in the attempt." Reinforcements were ferried under fire across the Volga into the ruins with on-up troops making it to the other side to keep at least part of the city off the Soviet hands. Soviet casualties were immensely high, but German casualties were mounting as well. To ensure the defense of Stalingrad, Stalin had issued Order Number 227 on July 27, 1942, known as the Not One Step Backwards. Armies were formed with a second line of barrier troops behind them and acted as a last line of defense. Officers and soldiers who deserted could also be sent to penal battalion, which was a virtual death sentence. Red Army troops built a maze of trenches and damaged buildings and used their sewer system to sneak past the enemy.
Both sides employed snipers and destroyed buildings of Stalingrad, made in an ideal environment for combat. The most famous Soviet sniper celebrated as a hero was Vasily Sadnev's, with 225 confirmed kills, and at the end of September and mid-October the Germans came close to victory, but the defenders clung on the part of the city's northern factory district. The advance to Stalingrad brought the others problem for the Axis, while Hitler had fired several of his generals in the summer, after arguments over strategic plans. Now he was marking many common decisions from himself. The winter caused problems for both sides, breaking down tanks and making weapons more difficult to operate. However, the real army had better clothing for the freezing cold conditions, which quilted jackets and fur hats. Stalingrad had spanned the Germans' front as a consequence. The Italian and Romanian armies were brought in to support the flanks of the 6th Army and 4th Panzer of the army. Fighting inside Stalingrad was sapping German forces and causing them to pull units from flanks into the city. The Romanian and Italian troops were poorly trained and had low morale, therefore they would be the first targets for the planned Soviet counteroffensive. The Soviets attacked Hungarian positions in North Stalingrad on November 19th, and some of the Sal of the next day, devastating the Romanian forces. Within a week, the two advancing Red Army forces had joined up and cut Stalingrad off. General Pauls asked permission to break put, which he could have done, but Hitler refused, instead promising to repel the trap of the German army by air. General Erich von Manstein had brought in to lead a relief attempt for the surrounded pocket, but had to retreat before Christmas.
The air supply effort also cost Luftwaffe hundreds of transport aircraft and only managed to deliver a fraction of its supplies. Now short of fuel and ammunition, the German 6th Army now faced superior forces all around them. The last German troops in the city would surrender on February 2nd in 1943, but sporadically fighting around the city went until March. The Battle of Stalingrad was a crushing blow to the Nazi army, and the losses to never were matched could not actually be replaced